Day 125. Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints, where, to start things off today, guess what? We're going to talk. I have some things in my notes. For one, I just drew a picture of like the underground area and marked up where we went through the cogs and were able to look down on the reservoir and also look down on Castle Arindia, which it's clearly Castle Arindia that's like below ground downstairs that we saw through the window. Now looking back at it, as well as where the boat goes off to the safe house. And I just wanted to kind of get everything oriented clearly in my head in terms of how things were laid out. I wonder if there's a way to get to Castle Arindia by breaking through a wall or something, but that's something to worry about later. When I was looking through, I've recently been taking a bunch of screenshots of the checkouts of various books, and the book about the pumps was checked out by Jean Ribbon. And Jean Ribbon is a name that we have seen before. It's a fake passport entry for Mary. And so hopefully I'm putting up screenshots of that. And so it was Mary who was checking out the book on the pumps to be able to draft the pump system, I guess, to pump the water out of the reservoir in order to get into the safe house out of the shelter in the first place, because that's where it fits in the timeline. I was watching someone and I saw something that it's too bad that I didn't discover on my own, but it's too late because I didn't discover it on my own, and who knew that I was going to be watching someone who would decide to look behind the door of the secret passage, which is actually a pretty clever thing to do. I did not even see it on the screen when they were looking, but they were looking behind the secret passage door, like when you open up the bookshelf or whatever and it like folds back and you go into the dark hallway. They like turned around and like looked behind the door, and it's like hard to see and it's dark and it's at a weird angle. But it occurs to me that I could draft the secret passage and not open the door and then walk around to the back of it and probably see it while it's still shut, and that would give me a better look at what I want to look at. So that's one of the things that we're going to try to do today. Another thing that I want to do today is to show off something in security that is something that I came up with, but as a result of like seeing someone riff on an idea that I had already had a bunch of data on, and so when we get to security we'll check that out as well. And then there's an idea that I've been stewing on for a while, which is the castle, and then a bunch of blanks that we saw down at the chessboard. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Okay, here's security. Here's what I've drafted so far. So, security. A while back, I had made a list of every room that was on the monitors. And we had a couple of things that focused on just these 12, and there was this one circled and then scribbled out in red that is found in the note in the attic. Oh, it was just up in the attic. I should have showed it off again. And then in the safe house, there was this one with an A that said delete it, and that's the archives. And this one is the office, and a circle might also be an O. And so I saw somebody else with the hypothesis of that, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I took a look because I've written down the names of all these places. But if we look at just these 12 that are in frame, we have the spare room, the walk-in closet, the archives, the nook, the storeroom, the office, the nursery, and the gallery, the hallway, the security, and the showroom. And if you take the first letters of each of those, you get SWANSONGHSS. Swan Song, Herbert S. Sinclair. And that's sitting here in security, where it just so happens that we have a little computer here where we learned that the network password was Swan Song. So what happens if I type Swan Song HSS? Password accepted. Connecting to HSS. Okay, this is actually doing something. Alright. So, home security surveillance. Okay. Not at all what I expected. Didn't occur to me that HSS might be an acronym for something else. Security footage. They said that they deleted all the archived footage, but they're big fat liars. 1994 is current year. So this is something I didn't talk about at the beginning. I've been confused about what year it is. And the reason is because we knew that November 1st was a Sunday from the calendar in the drafting studio. That also shows that November 7th is day one. And on Earth, here, in our current world time system, 1993 and I think 1998 have November 1st on a Sunday. Sorry, 92 and 98, I believe. But there were clearly emails in the office computer and the Black Bitch Grotto logs that went up to 1993, up to November of 93. So it really seemed like 93 was when Herbert died, and so I decided it must be 1998 when we first arrive on the property or whatever, in order to have the dates align in terms of days of the week. But I was watching someone else who had the morning room, which has the newspaper that announces Herbert's death. And something I'd failed to notice is that it says that the heir is 14 years old, basically. And I know that we were born on January 28th, 1979, according to our grandmother's diary. And so that means it is 1993 when we actually arrive on the property. And so it's just the case that in this world, in this universe, in the calendar year 1993, November 1st falls on a Sunday. And so that had been throwing me off, and so we're actually like a 14-year-old, or I guess now, because it's already past my birthday, because I've been here for 125 days or whatever, we're a 15-year-old kid, but we were a 14-year-old kid, I guess, when we first arrived. Simon, and which is kind of weird. just take some teenage kid and throw him on the property, and he has to camp outside every night in order to earn his inheritance. But I mean, the whole thing is weird and fantastical. Like, there's this magical house that resets every day. Footage not found for 1994. Right. They quit recording in 1987, I believe. No, it's got security footage. Okay. This is really interesting. Oh, we're going to see somebody who's not us in here, aren't we? Oh, that's going to be really interesting. Okay, so 11/6. This is the day before we arrived. 6 p.m. in the parlor. Did the game crash, or is it playing a video clip? I'm hearing sound. That seems like the game crashed, though. Because this seems like, unless this is the opening cutscene and we get to watch it again, and this is how we watch it again, so that if you missed an important date that was spoken in the opening cutscene or something like that, you'd be able to see it again. Yes. Okay. Do we want to watch this again? I guess we might as well. There might be something important. I don't think there is. I've watched it again myself. But you can read it on the bottom better than you can hear it, so I don't mind talking over him. And we discussed when we found his actual will. Some of the pictures here are kind of interesting, because I don't necessarily recognize everybody. But yeah, basically this is just kind of like a short summary of the important part of the will, but we've read more detailed will. And And it talks about a timely manner,
The room has been kept a
I
secret
believe.
from all the staff
Let's actually see exactly how it's worded.
but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair
So yeah,
legacy
if we're worthy, we'll
shall
be able to
benefit
find it.
from uncovering its whereabouts in a timely
Within a
manner.
timely manner.
Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this
You could also pun that as timely manner, M-A-N-O-R.
executors of my will
And there are a lot of clocks in this place.
shall lap,
And so I wonder if that's
whereof I have hereunto
just fun wordplay or I'm reading into things too much.
day of March
18th day of
1993.
March, 1993. So he made the will,
Sinclair.
6 months or whatever before we arrived. And before he died. And so that's one of the questions that I asked a couple episodes ago or something. Like, it kind of doesn't track because it's like he was setting up this project for us before he died, but then it seems like he knew when he was going to die, or he was trying to get paintings done by Thursday or something, and maybe he's still alive, or I don't know. I still kind of think that he is actually dead now, but I've kind of gone back and forth on that. Also, I look forward to the computer terminal. There we go, coming back up. Hopefully the rest of these will not be that long. 1051 security. Okay. The someday when we walked in, we found security. I see. Rumpus room, rumpus room, rumpus room. Okay. You get to re-watch the cutscenes of Alzara. The original cutscene was security. The Blackbridge Grotto. I'm not so sure. But in any case, I don't want to rewatch any of those. So I'm going to exit out of 93. Let's take a look at 92. No footage found. There'll be no footage found in 91, 90, 89, 88, but then in 87 we're going to find something. That is my expectation, based on what we know of the lore of this game. 87 is when all the action happens. Mary disappears, and we know gets smuggled into the shelter in the safe house, and then escapes to steal the crown on September 1st, and then goes back into the safe house for another couple of months before leaving the country. 87. 209 library, 209 entrance, 210 security. So I have a timeline. The pump checkbook thing was checked out. Did I write that in my timeline? In any case, 210 is the day that Lee B, the alias Bo Lee that appeared in a new clue that was the administrator password into Blackbridge, added Lee B, Prav C, and Hoon Yu, and they were the only ones who could view the logs. And then Randolph Moore turned off camera recordings on the estate on the 10th, according to my notes. And the pump was drafted somewhere around here as well, but let's go ahead and witness what happened on these dates that is still recorded. And so there's Mary in the library, probably reading about the pump system under the alias Jean Ribbon that I talked about earlier. That would make sense with everything that I know. And I think it said library on this entry, and I forgot all about that the moment I started watching. Someone comes in that could be Caleb Manning or Philip White. I think it's Caleb. Or it could be possibly even Ann Babbage or Herbert, who's bringing the book that she checked out on the pump system, maybe. Or some other book. But yeah, it makes sense that they'd be reading about the pump system and figuring out how to pump things down so that they could get into the safe house, based on everything I know of the lore. So then at the entrance, just an hour later. So is this going to be like the front door? Is that what it means by the entrance? Let's see what we witness. It is the front door entrance. But nothing's happening. Here comes somebody. Appears to be the same man carrying a document, perhaps? I think so. But like most cutscenes in this game, it's too slow and lasts too long. It's very interesting that they allow you to replay like all the Rumpus Room things. Like I've transcribed everything that Alzara says, and I think his words are more valuable than what appears on the screen, in my opinion. So this is the following day in security. And when they're in the safe house, they had the thing about deleting it from the archives or whatever, but let's see what actually transpired according to the security camera before everything got turned off and deleted. That's Mary, in the most common outfit that we see her in. She's holding a document and climbing up to the security camera to show us something. It's a black cat. Or that's my interpretation. No, it's the train route from A New Clue. So the Arindia train station, that is the route where you keep left and then go south to Tanner Fork and then curl around to the dead end. I hadn't noticed that it's kind of a very abstract shape of a cat as well. But I just kind of want everything to be cats. Speaking of cats, the picture of the cat in the kennel, we're going to circle around to that because it's important. Okay. It seems to me that the way that this game is designed, there's a lot of... Seems to me you could get to... I presume we're leading up to some kind of new ending. It seems to me you can get to the ending without having solved every puzzle because there's a number of redundant clues along a number of paths. And so... This is, one of them. Okay. I have concerns. So, Blackbridge Grotto, I don't think I got into in the month of December. And so I think we do need to watch this one. I'm definitely going to skip the Rumpus Room ones. Yeah, this was not in December. In any case, I took screenshots of this. It's ASCII code that just repeats ARIE, the ones and zeros, along with court, cloak, and castle. I don't know quite what to make of that. ARIE, of course, is the first four letters of Ares, as in Arindia Ares, Fen Ares, Arch Ares. It's also almost AREI, which is the Eurasian word for the future. But basically, I don't know why those letters are there. I've been doing a whole lot of other things with letters recently. But those letters do not yet fit in to any of my stuff. They're currently sitting on a post-it note here in front of me along with all of the ASCII codes or whatever that I had already transcribed from a previous episode when we witnessed that. Okay, so basically this just lies and assumes that it's why it gives you 11x and 12x. It's just like fake dates when the player might have seen this. Little did they know that I'm already into March of 1994, because apparently I'm a very slow player or something. Okay. So, we witnessed the secret security footage. having decoded the message that's been sitting in front of us in plain sight the whole time. Just get the first letters of all the rooms that we're witnessing here. Okay, so that was one of the things I wanted to do on my list. Let me get back to drafting and see if I can get any of the others. There's 2 more things I'd really like to find. What? Remove a crate from the tunnel? Okay, we're doing that now. Each time you unlock or bypass a security door, I should be able to get through like 4 or 5 of them today, probably, if I'm careful. Or whenever you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room. I could probably intentionally spend... Yeah, I bet I could do even better with that. So let's remove crates from the tunnel. That's crazy. Okay, so now I'm trying to purchase expensive rooms today. And, well, that shouldn't be a big problem, hopefully. But that does mean that I'm going to need gems. So the patio should come later. We've got plenty of keys already. Okay, I'm going to have to pay even more attention to my drafting, but I'm up to the challenge. Okay, I'm going to intentionally take the passageway here so that we can remove a crate from the tunnel. Here's my drafting so far. This is not the best place for it, but I do want to try to get around to the other side of the secret passage without actually pulling a book. So I'm going to see if I can pull that off. I don't have any redraws yet, so actually what I should do is try to get the observatory first if I can. So let's see if we can somehow pull something good. This is not working for me here. And I do kind of want a shovel. So I'm going to grab that really quick. And then we'll go try to draft somewhere else. Let me retrieve my shovel. Because I drew a courtyard, and that seems like it could be useful later on. Steps are still doing okay. And, well, this will give me plenty of keys. Or I could go for more gems is probably more important, actually, right now. Just to make sure I have plenty of gems for trying to get my lab experiment to go well. So I think we'll actually do that. We can do this together. Alright. If this is true, that only one box displays a true statement, then it's the only one that's true, which means this is false, they're in the white box, and this is false, that they're in the black box, which means they're in the blue box. Ta-da! It's just that easy. Alright, let's waste some more steps over here and draft this room. Any observatories for me? There are not, but I could get some more food over here. Do I have a salt shaker yet? I do not. Do I have anything that I need to workshop together? I do not. So I think I will go ahead and take the boudoir, both for the apples, because they're delicious and give us steps, but perhaps more importantly for another gem, to make sure that I can spend as many gems as possible. Yoink! Have I drafted the outdoor room? I have not. But I'm almost out of drafting possibilities here. Yeah, I think let's not worry about the outdoor room right now. So there's my secret passage. Let's see if I can get around this way. Now's not a great time to lose half my steps. And I'm okay with just taking this. Oh, that's a nice thing in terms of steps. Let's have some nice shoes. Running shoes, hooray. Okay, at this point we got plenty of keys, so I'm not worried about running out of those. There's the observatory, but it's going the wrong direction for where I need to go. Yeah, it's going a really bad direction, so I think I have to go ahead and just take the boiler room for the moment. There's dinner. Cloister of Draxus, we definitely can't afford to do right now. Oh, and I need to draft the office so that I get some more crates removed from the tunnel. Experiment successful. Yeah, let me open up this to get another gem. Yoink! Alright. I did not realize that this was curving in this direction. Okay, I just cut myself off over here. Not great. Next, I think we should go to the courtyard, question mark? Or whatever's north of the courtyard over here. And I want to draft this guy in order to get another crate removed from the tunnel. I don't know how many crates there are in the tunnel. It's been a while since we've been in the tunnel. It's the place that we lit up with 2 torches down near the precipice that gave us the tunnel blueprint. What special key do I have? I have the prism key. Where am I? I'm drafting into the corner. So I'll just use a normal key here. Treasure trove. I can't help myself. I gotta take it every time to be continually misled by various memos. Also, it's fun having lots of money. So here's a pink box with a moon, which reads, "There is no realm that flies the white flag." And that is false, because Morajai, its color is white. And we get one more room over here. Is it possible for me to... Special keys. If I were to use the prism key... prism key doesn't work on black prints, as far as I know. Yeah. So it would say the key does not fit. I'm going to just try it, just to double check. Yeah, the key does not fit. Alright. So I'd love to get another dead end out of the pool, ideally. No dead ends for me here. Nothing costs 2. I don't want to add things to the drafting pool that are going to hurt me. And gallery has the fewest doors, so we'll go ahead and get it out of here for now. I'm going to waste a step, but I feel the need. Thin K, think. What's up with the hand that's a shooting star holding the handcuffs? With the weird key in the lock. What's up with the spotlight? Why is this sitting on a reflected lake? I think this might have been the first one that I solved because it was the shortest, and then I just realized it was Rebus, and I got Ponder, and eventually realized that they're all about the same kind of thing. Realize and ruminate. But yeah, the rest of them I used most of the elements in the picture, but this one has a lot of extraneous elements, and so I wonder if there might still be some puzzle clue that is there. I was watching someone else in that room and thinking about that a bit more. Okay, there's a courtyard over here that has a bunch of dig spots that I might want to go back to dig. But I only have one, and I still don't have the observatory. Yeah, we might not be getting my secret passage goals done today. So there's the secret passage. I don't have the observatory or any ivory dice. And none of these work for me. So we're dead-ended here. So in that case, the correct thing to do is to give up on today's goal of witnessing the back of the secret passage door from the back, but we will instead go and try to witness it together from the front. So what type of room would help me out the most? I want to spend lots of monies. I've already drafted the passageway. What color room has expensive stuff? I feel like the shops will at least go through, so I'm going to pull this. So, the person I was watching... I guess you can see it, actually. It's very hard to see, but there's letters here. And the letters, yeah, I can actually read it on my own monitor. Say D space O O, and then to the right of it R, like door. I would have preferred to have come through this door and viewed it from the back, but we were not afforded that opportunity today. In any case, those are letters that I first saw someone else witness, but now I've witnessed them here for you all with my own eyeballs. And I can't go back in time to before they were witnessed. So what you gonna do? There's nothing here that we can afford. So at this point, what else am I trying to do or draft? Now I do want the Cloister of Draxus for a variety of reasons. Is there any way to make it more likely? I don't think so. Remind me, I have a prism key, but that would not help me here. Cloister of Draxus is presumably a red room. Observatory would grant me rerolls. Would cut off most of the manor, but I think at this point it's just worth it. So there's my rerolls from the Inkwell. Things are on sale, that's nice. Some other things, yada yada yada. And let's go ahead over here. And so, Mechanarium, how many doors would you give me at this point? I think only 4, which might not be enough to do everything I want to do, so I think I have to take the drawing room for now. Drawing room will also allow us some redraws. I have 13 gems, so I'm not going to bother, because I'm not going to be able to spend them all. And in this direction, or the other direction, either one, Cloister of Draxus could be good. And we didn't get it here. And I don't think I need anything else in the library right now, so I am going to redraw. Ballroom costs 2. And so even though it's going to eliminate our gems... Actually, it doesn't eliminate our gems until we walk inside. Every time we walk in, our gems are sent to 2. So there's another crate removed. Great, and we still have drafting power over there. And it's no longer possible for me to draft Cloister of Draxus because it's a 4-way room. So I'm not going to be able to check that out today. I do need the break room in order to have my key card for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and draft that, and then just see if we can spend any more 2 gem rooms. And we're not getting one here. So none of these really matter. I'll take the pantry and not worry about it. And then what about here? I can't even think of what other rooms cost 2 gems. But we'll see if we can find one. Master bedroom. There we go. Perfect. So that removes another crate from the tunnel. And we got a whole bunch more steps without even eating dinner. While I'm here, is there anything I need to do in here? Not that I can think of. Because it might come into play. Once again, this is 1213 in Roman numerals on that crest. And I could take this gem and it won't do anything for me because my gems are just going to be set to 2 when I walk in here. Ding! Okay. I guess we should go check the tunnel because I believe I've removed 4 chests from the tunnel. And then I've got to coat check something, and then I've got to go all the way back to the break room. So I will see you in a bit. I'm actually going to check the sledgehammer because I don't know of any immediate needs for the shovel. I didn't even use it today, even though I had some dig spots. Whereas I do have plans about what I could do with the sledgehammer on some future day. Let's go check the tunnel. So as a reminder, the tunnel is over here. It's been a long time since we've been here. It was blocked off by crates. But now it is still blocked off by crates, but not as many. It looks like we would probably need to remove who knows how many yet. But still a number of crates in order to get back to whatever happens to be there. And Don't think there's anything else to see here for us right now. So let's call it a day. Corporate shopping center. Lab. It occurs to me I should do a custom drafting, whatever it's called. So, packet management. Yeah. Mixing and matching from all available things. So I'm going to do this. For every room you draft in the next 40 seconds. That's crazy. Okay, these are the most common ones, in my opinion, that hopefully you can read on your own. And then the effects. Okay, and then I have chosen 8 effects that include the most important one, remove a crate from the tunnel. Custom experiment packet successfully created. Okay, so now if I do an experiment setup, let's see what we got. Remove a crate from the tunnel for each bedroom you draft after your second. That's a good one for me. Because I could probably get like 6 bedrooms or maybe more. So let's go for that. Although, each time you view your map, lose 10 steps and then... Like, I could get this 6 just right off the bat if I wanted to. And if I get some good food... Like, there's days that I've had 100 steps at the end. But I'm going to accidentally view my map because I'm in the habit of doing so. But I'll be removing crates from the tunnel. So we'll go for that. Alright. It's gonna be crazy. So, I can no longer view my map. So, I am currently in the southern corner. I know where I am. I'm trying to draft the cloister today, and if we can do some other stuff, that's great. It's fine to go ahead and take the attic, just to get some items. Don't accidentally look at the map. Secret garden is great, because I've already got the conference room, and that means I'll get a bunch of fruit. There's a treasure chest that might be on the way to wherever we're going to be drafting the secret garden. And then some various bits and bobs that may or may not matter. A shovel. Always fond of the shovel. Okay, well this will be fun to do together. Also, by the way, since I failed to do it last time, O is for office. Alright. Anyway, we'll be coming back to you, probably, conference room. So, here's the entrance hall. And then the foundation will be straight ahead. This is a bedroom, so I definitely want to go ahead and draft this guy. And I have a shovel, so we'll do a little bit of that and get some food, which is great. Should I try to draft the root cellar? It's a consideration, but I'm not going to spend steps right now to go do that. Alright, but I should not be afraid to look at my map like once if I need to. But for now, I'll just try to keep it in my head. So I haven't done anything in the first 2 columns. And I did draft north of the conference room already, and I want bedrooms, so multiple reasons to choose this one. And now I'm gonna lose track if I'm not careful, so let's start going after all of these guys. So I'm on rank 3, and I may need some more things here, but I'll get even more things here probably. Also possibly food. We just buy these things out. We don't really think about it. Okay. Bought out the commissary. I just looked at my map. A crate has been removed from the tunnel. Let's get a good look at the map. Right, I don't need bedrooms because I'm doing the thing where I'm looking at the map. Silly Brian. Okay, from here, let's definitely make sure we can get dinner. And so going this way will earn me some keys. Oh, and steps from the sleeping mask. I haven't stepped into the other bedroom yet that I already drafted because I forgot that I had the sleeping mask. It was part of my mailroom kit that arrived in the front door on the start of this day. I'm not trying to do that. Thank you. Security is pretty great. So I will take it. And I currently own a secret garden key, as I recall. And so I'm going to go try to draft that over here. We'll just lockpick. And I do want the dining room, but I also want to go through and get the secret garden. The dining room will come back again probably shortly. And I don't particularly need the workshop just yet, so let's take the den. Grab this guy. Draft the secret garden over here. The key does not fit. Alright, that's unfortunate because... Am I just in column 4? I must just be in column 4. It's the only thing that makes sense. Yes, that's the only reason I'd be able to draw a passageway. Okay, so now's a great time to take the dining room, and then if we get another locked door off of it, then we will be able to draft the secret garden. And I've already got lunch, and also there's a treasure map here, apparently. Which... Is there anything that I want, per se? I don't know that there is. What I want is a shorter digging animation. It's money and gems. Alright, that's acceptable. Oh, it's just gems. 8 gems. That's also acceptable. The money I don't really care about, but the gems is good stuff. Okay, here's our secret garden. So there's a bunch of fruit now in the conference center. Conference room, whatever it's called. And so I'll be able to afford to look at my map a number of more times. Is there more dirt up here? Doesn't look like it. From here, might as well draft south. This will give me more steps, so we'll take it. Thank you for the steps. And I don't really need the gems, so I'm not going to bother opening the safe. I'm going to look at my map intentionally now. I will be able to see the back of the secret passage more clearly by doing this, and so even though it's going to cut off some of the thing, I really wanted to see this on my own. So now let's go walk around south of the den. It's going to cost me steps to do this. We'll live. So now I have to have something that bends back to the left, I believe. And the drawing room fits the bill. So now in here, there we go. We can witness the back of the secret passageway door, which looks like this layout of D, O, O, and R. Oh, this is a different layout than I thought. It's a good thing that I did this. Okay, that's actually super useful, and we'll see why, hopefully, in a short bit. Okay. Super duper fantastic. I was just doing that. I just looked at my map without thinking. I was just doing that to show you all, but it turned out to be totally worth it. Okay. Every time I do that, I'm going to lose steps, but I'm going to get the dining room soon. I forgot to notice. I guess I don't know what's on the menu until I go to the kitchen. Okay. Let's not think too hard about things. In the worst case, I run out of steps. It's not a big deal. Dark room. is fine. Let's just get lucky. Give me something good. I have lots of gems. This could be the veranda, for example. It's the music room. That's also acceptable. Prison key for us. And one of these keys, and we keep on drafting. I would like to bend around to the left. The observatory is fantastic. We'll take our little bonus. There's our inkwell. Do I want Draxus? I want to draft the Cloister of Draxus is what I want, so I'm not going to click on that one constellation. And then from here, I have a lot of keys, but I don't have a foyer yet, and I don't have that many keys, so I think probably passageway is the way to go. And then if I hang a right, we'll be in good Cloister of Draxus territory. The bell tells me that I am in rank 8. So yeah, these are going to be up against the edges of the estate, and so this would be a good place. And Cloister of Draxus is a red room, so I don't want to use my special key, so we will use a normal key. I also could have done a lockpick. I definitely cannot take the weight room. And the parlor cuts me off. I'm going to actually spend an observatory star to redraw and take the vestibule, which is fantastic. Alright, we could draft the Cloister of Draxus here or here. So let's try this one. There's something I want to see in the Cloister of Draxus if I didn't mention it. It was the reason I'm trying to get it. Great Hall is not great. And I guess the Rotunda rotates all around, and I've got plenty of gems, so we'll take the Rotunda. It's just a pain in the neck because it's kind of going the wrong way right now. Let's try to get a dead end out of the inventory pool if we can before I rotate. Locksmith is a dead end. Study is a dead end and lets me redraw with gems, so study is way better. And if I am going to be redrawing with gems, then I actually want to open the safe and get more gems. So we will do such things as these. Great. I might be able to draft a full chessboard today too, in case that's interesting. I still need a queen, which we could get from... Or no, I need the king, which I could get from the office. Because I don't think I drafted that yet. Or did I? Oops, I just looked at my map. A crate has been removed from the tunnel. Did I draft the office yet? I have not drafted the office yet today. Okay. And the dining room is back there, and the secret garden still has draftables. And I might be able to connect back up to the secret garden in a little bit. Okay. So, I know what's going on, kind of. Can't get Cloister of Draxus here. Treasure Trove, I can't help myself. And is there anything I can really do with all this money? Like, I feel kind of obligated to take it each time because I might get the showroom and get a moon pendant or other things I'm having a hard time anticipating. Alright, so that was like pink flames or something. Previous box in this room contained a true statement. That is false, but you're on red paper, so of course you're false. So that is not really new information. I'm not sure if any of this is worth it with the treasure trove, but here we are. I'm up against the wall. I have a sledgehammer. I don't know what my inventory is. I remember picking up a... I don't think I have a battery. I remember picking up a handle, but I don't think I have a battery. And this would give me lots of gems. This will give me even more gems. So we'll take this one. And then I should be able to draft the cloister. What was that? Did you see that? There were like fireplace flames that just went soaring up into the sky. I'm gonna have to... I think that might have been accidental particle effects over here that ended up over here before the room got rotated or something into its correct orientation. Something along those lines. I think that's what's most plausible to me. Okay. Cloister of Draxus. Come on, you can do it. A special key won't help, because all I have is a prism key and I don't want another shop. Cloister of Draxus, we did it. Hooray. I'm going to be able to accomplish my many goals. So I need to touch the base of this and the base of this. Possibly. I never quite know what it is I'm clicking on, but eventually I get it. So the other thing that I accidentally saw when I was watching someone is, you remember there was an allowance token here? And then there was the note from Miss Babbage about Mr. Nagula. Thanks for finally tending to the cloister. Apparently, there might be letters on the back of the... Yeah, I think they are. I'm really struggling to see them. I'm not sure if I could zoom in better to see it. So let me get my magnifying glass on the computer to try to see this better. It says CXET. Okay. And that's upper left, upper right, lower left, and lower right. So I don't feel bad about having not witnessed that myself, because there's no way in heck I was ever going to see that. That said, I already had the C and the E and the T. The X, however, I did have the wrong thing, so that's interesting. But now I can talk about, well, I'll have screenshots and I'll be able to stitch the entire thing together. So you remember down by the chessboard where it says castle? I have all the letters for that now, and I have at least some theories about... I just looked at my map and cost myself steps. So I need to get to the dining room now to get some more steps again. But is there anything else I need to do on this run? I mean, I guess ideally the thing that I would do is anything that would get me more steps so I could look at the map more often. And none of these matter because I don't plan to step inside. I just wanted the dice rolls. So now I am going to walk back, draft the two things off the passageway, and then walk back to the dining room and eat my food. And see if I can remember where everything is while I'm doing that. So here's the two places where I can draft off of here. And so we're just looking for stuff that... office would give me a chess piece I need. So I'm going to draft that guy. And I would have to look at my map to see... oh dear. If I want to draft the chessboard. Things have gotten very complicated. So I've got the king and the queen. I have the knight because I got the treasure trove. No. I have the knight that's in security. I have a bishop from the chapel. Did I do the chapel? I'm going to have to look at my... I'm going to have to look at some point again. Nook would have a rook, and I can't remember if I have a nook already, so we're going to do that just to make sure we have the rook. And then... I have a knight in the observatory, for sure. Okay. And then pawns are in a variety of rooms, including the dining room, which I am headed to now. But here's another knight in security. And yeah, this is a white knight. At some point I thought it was a black knight, but it is clearly a white knight. I was speculating I had 3 black knights, but that is just not true. Okay, dining room is straight ahead. So at this point I do have all the chess pieces. I don't have... no, I do have an aquarium, so we get extra steps. Great. And... so... I need to pause for a moment and think. All right, it's time for screenshot editing Brian to come to the rescue. So the stuff I'm thinking about. Down by the chessboard, we broke through the wall and it said castle and had some blanks after it, as pictured here. In the kennel, I saw a picture of a cat standing on some blocks, which I loved because I love kitty cats. But it occurred to me that the CA could be the CA in castle, and then the T would be at the bottom of the second column, and that would kind of like fit the shape. Then when I was looking through old photos, I'd noticed at some point that there is a vault passport, one of the fake ones that Mary had, that in the upper right says ID. That's Mary, how she writes her capital D's. Not sure why it's a lowercase I. Then there was the math worksheet that we found in the locker room that said 6 or 0, but it was lined up in funny columns. Then in the grotto, there was a post-it note that said I, space, I-O-O going down. Then there was the secret passage door that we just witnessed today, as well as the cloister statue back that we witnessed today. And so you can put them all together in a grid, and I guess I'll show you something out of my notes document. And so if we read across, we have CIX, which is Roman numerals for 109, add 6. Do we get to 115, or is it add 6 to R, add 6 to rank? Since this is the place that we put the chessboard, maybe we have to draft all 6 pieces in ranks 1 through 3 and then add 6 to the rank, and they'll all end up in 7 through 9, and something special would happen, maybe, I'm guessing. LOR, that's the Eurasian word for word, and ETT is the Eurasian word for east. Word east? I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure how to interpret this, and so I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the chessboard now and play around with anything, or if I just want to look at my map a few times in order to clear a few more crates out of the whatchadoodle. And it occurs to me that neither of those is going to be correct, because what I should do, there's more food in the secret garden, and I'm going to go ahead and remove a crate from the tunnel by looking at my map. Not in the secret garden, it's in the conference room. So if I go to security and then take a straight shot south, I can get back to the entrance hall and then walk over to the conference room. And I will gain more steps than I will lose, and I will be able to clear more crates. So I think that is what I choose to do right now. Also, in terms of inventory, I have a sleeping mask. So I would actually gain steps from the foundation by stepping into the bedroom quickly. So I should do that as well. Okay, so I'm going straight, left, and then I know what I'm doing. I think I'm not going to try to draft the chessboard today. So now I have never set foot in this bedroom, so the sleeping mask will grant me a +5, in addition to the +2 that you get for stepping into any bedroom. So I gain steps walking over here. Car keys, I don't need them. And then we're going to go to the conference room and find lots of fruit. And we're going to eat the fruit, because fruit are delicious. Today I was eating pineapples and blueberries in real life. Well, maybe not plural of pineapples, pineapple chunks. All right. Eat all the fruits. Nom 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 nom. Okay, and that has brought us up to 70 steps, which means I ought to be able to look at my map 7 more times and clear 7 more crates. There's 1. Experiment successful. I don't think I have to wait long enough for it to come off the screen, but I'm paranoid. There's another one. A crate has been removed from the tunnel. Experiment successful. Experiment successful. I presume that it would still be a successful experiment even if I had fewer than 10 steps. So actually, I should just walk out to the tunnel. Yes, I should just walk out to the tunnel. I'll be able to look at my map twice more regardless. And we have enough steps to get into the tunnel. And so it would be interesting, especially if I can witness one of the crates disappearing, assuming that that's still a thing. Possibly even two of the crates. I've gone the wrong way. This is not the way to the tunnel. That's the way to the Blackbridge Grotto. Fortunately, I still have enough steps as far as I know. Don't mind me. I'm just heading to a tunnel where, surprise, there are fewer crates than there used to be. Okay, we made it to the back of the tunnel. No, this is just the first stop. Okay, here I am blocked by crates. Notice how the crates are. If I hit tab, a crate has been removed from the tunnel. I did not witness which crate it was that has been removed. A crate has been removed from the tunnel, and now I won't be able to witness it because I'm falling asleep. But great. I pushed myself to the brink of exhaustion and removed a bunch of crates. That's pretty fun. Okay, well, through my own experimentation as well as accidentally seeing other people seeing things that I didn't see, I got some letters. I had already been putting them together for the last few episodes, like off camera or whatever, like with the few letters that I had. But now I have all of them, and now I need to noodle on what it is that we need to do at the chessboard where it says castle. And so hopefully I'll figure that out. If not before next time, then some other time. We had a stately manner today. But that's where we'll wrap it up for today. I'm going to say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Blueprints, which is the puzzle game that just keeps on giving, because I really thought we were kind of getting close to an ending, and now I'm not so sure again, because everywhere I look, there's more puzzles. It's pretty great stuff. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.